is up, you guys? Welcome back to Candy Tarot YouTube channel. One thing I gotta say is one thing I love about this channel and the fact that the reason why I wanted to restart is because I really wanted to, you know, when I relaunched this channel, I really wanted to kind of relive the moment of really doing this and reaching new people, new audience. And I feel like maybe this has always happened with each of the videos that has been released since this relaunch. But last week's video, I feel it definitely reached a few new peoples, and I saw a few people, new people commented. And what I also love to see is that those same new people would pretty much go throughout the entire catalog, and you'll see them comment on those older videos. And that's just something I really find very special. It really warms my heart when I see that. So for all y'all new people, welcome and thank you so much. And for the OGs, y'all already know where they're at. Y'all already know how I feel. Y'all already know, like, no need to say, but I'm grateful for all of you guys. Anyways, you guys, today is another edition. It's another video for this week's, or this month's, love only readings video, where we look into, you know, different topics about romantic love, because the rumor around the streets, you know, the streets are saying that Candy Tarot does not care about love, which is clearly not the case, you guys. But today's topic is an interesting one. I feel like, I don't know if I've done it before. I may have done it with the old Patreon account that I used to have. I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit familiar, but for some reason I feel like I haven't brought it to you guys. But the topic is entitled, what does your soulmate spirit team think about you? So we are getting their soulmates, or their spirit team's perspective about who you are. Now, I get that maybe you don't feel like this is who you are, and to be honest, why would they lie? I mean, hey, just saying. But like I said, if you feel it doesn't resonate, that's perfectly fine. But I feel like most likely it's going to be maybe characteristics and traits that you identify with, and maybe some that you probably don't, and maybe just need someone looking in objectively to let you know what it is. And hopefully we can also see some highlights or maybe some other clues as to how this will affect, or maybe you know, like what is it going to add into the future relationship that you will have with their client, your soulmate. So I'm hoping this will be fun. I hope that you guys are excited about this. I'm excited about it because I'm also using a deck of cards that I really love, and I don't use it often, but I really love. It's a mythology, so it's the gods and goddesses. It's a deck that I used before on this channel, but I decided to bring it back. And I know it doesn't mean nothing to you, but for me, it means everything, because I love this deck and I love mythology just in general. So, you know, the little things. But without further ado, let's get into these piles. Please choose from these piles. We have pile number 1 with the clear quartz, pile number 2 with the rose quartz, pile number 3 with the purple quartz, just kidding, it's the amethyst, and pile number 4 with the Sodalite stone. So with that being said, you guys, please choose with your gut and now with your eyes, and I will catch you at your reading. What is up, pile number 1? This is for those who picked the clear quartz crystal. We're about to find out what does your spirit, or what does your soulmate spirit, I know I was gonna mess up that title at least once, or maybe twice, or 3 times, or 4 times in this video. But what does your soulmate spirit team think about you? Let's get into it. The cards that they gave us are the King of Pentacles in reverse. I love this deck. We also have 5 of Pills, which is also the 5 of Pentacles. We have the Page of Swords. Sorry for the airplane, you guys. We also have the 5 of Cups, change your focus. Number 71, health. We also have Sarasvati. This is the arts. We have charity. Prayer and compassion, or prayer and contemplation, I'm sorry. We also have intimacy. And these next two cards are actually the gods and goddesses deck. They're separate decks, but I decided to give you guys one of each group, because we all have masculine and feminine energies. So I wanted to highlight that. So the first one that we have is Persephone, which is entitled Cycles. We also have Hypnos, which is sleep, as the name indicates. And we also have Shatukite, teacher. We have, this is Saturn in Aquarius, eccentricity. And this card I will get into later. We actually have a lot of cards, or more cards than I typically do. So hopefully this video isn't as too long, but okay, they're already speaking, so let's begin. So first of all, you guys are coming across quite young in energy in comparison to your soulmates. And there's a dichotomy though. It's that thing where you look young, or you maybe have a youthful spirit, but you're really wise beyond your years. Wise beyond your years. And it's because of who you are. You're a leader, natural born leader. March the beat of your own drum. Some people will call it maybe rebellious, but I feel like rebellious or a rebel typically has a negative connotation. But it's really, you trust in yourself. You trust in what you believe in. You trust in what you say. I don't feel like you go back on your words at all. And I think that's something that's very admirable. Also, there's something about, we're gonna get into it, because there's something about your career that Spirit really wants to talk about when it comes to this soulmate of yours. Because there could be something that's missing, or something that needs some fine tuning with what you're currently already doing, which is going to be discussed. But overall, you're coming across as someone who's very young in nature, but also has the side to them which is quite wise and somewhat of a leader, someone that people typically are admire based off the choices and the things that you do, because it's true and authentic to who you are. Also, you also have a very deep side, and there's a very deep emotional side, and I think that's something that you absolutely look for into connection. I feel like oftentimes that is a component that's typically missed, and sometimes it's even just too physical and without the emotion, and you're looking for more of a balance, but with that at the forefront. And we also get someone, once again, who is, it's like you are going to be someone who teaches your soulmate some things, as well they'll be teaching you, as we'll see as we get to more into the message. But you're not someone who's going to be teaching them like, okay, well, first of all, you should do this, and first of all, you should do that. But it's more so just your way of being. You're an example that people should follow. Let's get into it, shall we? So we have the King of Pills, which is the King of Pentacles in reverse. One thing about you, you are a very adaptable You can, I feel like with you, you happen to get along with a lot of people, and people happen to get along with you. I think you happen to relate to a lot of people. I feel like with you, even though you do march to the beat of your own drum, you can and you are willing to change. But it doesn't necessarily make you fake. It's just another part of who you are. It's just whatever you decide to show, at that very moment. And I think it's something that, you probably will assess depending on who's around. But there's also something here about your career that they really want to speak about. For those of you guys, I feel like with this group, there's a leaning towards a creative endeavor or entrepreneurship for you guys. Now, if that's not what you're doing, then that's fine. But I feel like with this group, it's more like I hate having a boss, so I need to be my own boss. And I feel as though that's naturally who you are, and that's naturally what you're going to be, leading towards. No matter where you're at in your career, I think eventually you will be someone who is an entrepreneur or a business owner of your own. And the thing about you though, you come across as also as a creative. Ain't nothing creative about the King of Wands or the King of Pentacles. King of Wands is creative, but the King of Pentacles is not. It's not creativity to me. I would say of all the kings, it would be King of Wands and the King of Cups when it comes to creativity, but it's not the King of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles. But you're creative. That's what I was going to say. But the thing about it, there is a missing ingredient. Like if you guys are doing your own creative projects and you're hoping for that to be a success, and maybe you've been wondering why isn't it a success? There is a missing component, and that missing component is going to be what your soulmate brings to the table, because your soulmate is the opposite of who you are. This is going to be one of those cases where it's the opposite attract trope. Because your soulmate is really the type of person that's very 3D and very the type of person that is like, I want it done by the books, like this, like I need some type of structure. That's what they're going to add, some type of structure. Because it's like all this amazing potential, all this amazing creative energy. And what they're going to do is refine it to where it can actually become a success. So there could be a path, and maybe you could be doing a lot of things, but your soulmate is going to see a specific path that you're going to be that's going to be completely perfect in. And there could be also some things that they may also want to implement into your normal way of business or your normal way of doing things. And that could be a little bit hard for you to accept, but trust, it's for the best. It's absolutely for the best. But yeah, there is also with the Five of Pentacles here, which is also the Five of Pentacles, you've been through a lot. And I feel like you've definitely had a life in which the spirit team is saying that when it comes to money especially, you have a very frustrating relationship with money. And it doesn't have to be that way, but it is. It's a very unsettling and uncomfortable relationship with money. Like it's something that I feel like for a lot of you guys, whenever you do get money, it's something as if you guys are afraid that it's always going to leave, right? But through those experiences, you became immensely strong, and that's something that they are really commending you about. And that's something, and I feel like the reason why I have to bring it up, I know this is it's supposed to be a love reading, in which it still is in essence, but I feel like this particular, your soulmate spirit team is really wanting to highlight kind of what the purpose of the connection going to be with their client, in which it's really going to be a prosperous one. And I think even if it doesn't last for the entire way, even if we don't make it to the aisle, right? there's a lot to be grateful for, a lot to be learned, a lot to grow from this connection, and you're definitely going to be absolutely more successful than you could ever be with with this person in your life. But there is there is fire within you as well. Fire. Their spirit team is also feeling like you're somewhat of you have a wild nature about you, like no one can tame you. I'm not sure why they're bringing that up, but I feel as though that kind of goes in line with you don't do well in an environment in which someone is pretty much telling you what you should do, what you need to do, where you need to be at, like a traditional employment would do. And that's why I feel like a lot of you guys will be, the end game is entrepreneurship. And that's okay. It's not the easiest road. It's usually a road less traveled, but it's always the reward in the end. It's always unmatched compared to traditional careers, traditional employment. Page of Knives, which is the Page of Swords. This is going to be a long video. I can already tell. It's okay. The Page of Swords. Very intelligent, very inquisitive, always curious, great communicator. Once again, they're giving me the dichotomy that you either look young or you may be physically young by age, but as I picked up this card, they're showing me the Emperor energy, the Emperor card. So Emperor is typically a grown-ass boss. And that isn't typically associated with someone who is perceived as young. So you have that going. You have that dichotomy, and I think it works quite well, beautifully together. Also, though, we have to mention there is a certain naivete that comes with you, and I think that's the reason. It's like for example, if you have your own business, right? You could be doing something and it could be exactly how you want it, but what this soulmate is going to do is really come through and look at it and be like, okay, but how is it going to make us money? Like, how can we bring your ideas that you're doing into revenue? Like, they're looking at it from a 3D perspective, and I feel like you guys are typically tend to look at it from a little bit more of an idealistic perspective, and you need that balance, especially when it comes to business owners. This is why a lot of people, when they do business, they have partners to really, have best of both worlds, where you have the ideal person, the creative person, as well as the practical person who can really, execute your ideas in a way that they can become successful. But overall, I feel like you have that within you, and it just needs to wake up. And that's what they're going to do. So their spirit team definitely sees a lot of immense amount of potential, and they're actually quite excited to, if you haven't met your soulmate yet, they're actually quite excited for what you guys will build together. Now we have the Five of Cups. Change your focus. This is in regards to, I feel like for a lot of you guys, you guys have been waiting, not waiting for your soulmate, but I feel like with you guys waiting for your big break. And there is going to be a breakthrough. And I think for a lot of you guys, I think essentially you guys do look forward. You guys look on ahead. You guys don't necessarily dwell on the past. But yeah, sometimes it does, take a toll on you, especially when you may have lived a life where you had a lot of false starts in your careers. Maybe jumping to one idea to the next. Which they were never a waste. They were never a waste, because each of those endeavors that you may have, moved on from, gave you some type of skills or some type of experience that will ultimately help you on the career that you are truly meant to be at. And I feel like for you guys, it can sometimes be a little bit daunting to see where you came from when it actually, you should be proud. It's only daunting because yeah, you may be, okay, I've been through that, maybe invested some of that and look where it got me. But it's like, yeah, look where it got you. And look where you're going. And that's where they kind of want you to really, because this is airy energy as well. You're coming across as very airy. It's like a mixture of airy, fire, a dose of fire, but a lot of cups to cup energy. And at times it does, sometimes you may even reminisce at some things that you lost and some things that you feel like may have been a waste of time, but Spirit is kind of challenging you to really look at those things as good things. Like, change your perspective about that, because you are where you're supposed to be. Like, make no mistake about that. You are where you're supposed to be. And despite it not feeling like it, you've always been progressing. But overall, this card, I feel like with you, you don't necessarily, like, if something bad happens to you or something unpleasant happens, you don't really dwell on it too long, which is a great trait to have. Now, we also have number 71. This is health. Now, the interesting thing about this card, I don't know, I don't want to scare you guys, but they're showing me the Tower card. So I feel like with you are going to, I feel like with you have an overactive mind. Like, not even, and when I say overactive, I don't really want to say, it's not a bad thing. This is really the case in which, you know, I'm gonna use Kanye as an example. Kanye West is someone who, he's talented, but he's someone who I always refer to as being, there's a thin line between brilliance and being like a genius and just being flat out crazy. I mean, what I mean to say is that I feel as though you are going to be necessary for whoever this person's coming through, their own clarity and their own mental health and their own, I feel like for you too, you guys will, there's something about this connection that is going to be like a place of solace for your own sanity. Because there's something about the brain, there's something about the mind that remains, that sometimes could even go off the rails. But that's just, for me, that is just an indication of your intelligence. But yeah, sometimes it could go into places in which you don't necessarily need to go. And it can put you in a place where you feel less than you actually are. I almost feel like this is, for a lot of you guys, this is going to be the first time in which you actually had a connection in which it really penetrates all the, all the surface level fears that you've had, and really enlighten you in different ways that you've never felt before. But it's something about the mentality, the thoughts is what they really wanted to refer to. I think this is going to be something that really eases your mind. And that's something that you guys both need. Because I feel like both of you guys' life is actually quite busy. Now, it doesn't mean that you could be unemployed but still be busy by doing your own. Like, you may be self-employed or your mind's just too damn busy. I feel like both of you guys need to have a place. And by place, I mean like a connection that you guys can go to and find solace in. And for you, they're really going to find solace in you, because you are such a contrast to their life, is what their spirit team is saying. The arts is referring to your creative energy, and also not just creative energy, but it's really the opposite of the 3D. Like 3D is like practicality, by the book. You know, that's kind of your soulmate energy. While you is more free flowing, go with the flow. I have an idea, I'm going to test it. While maybe if your soulmate gets an idea, they're like, okay, well, now I don't know. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense, but does it make sense? Is it actually lucrative? You know, they're asking those questions because that's their point of view. If your point of view is like, yo, I'm gonna be happy trying this, and I gotta just see if it works, and I'm just gonna do it because it makes me happy. That type of perspective is going to be very foreign to your soulmate. As in their perspective, like, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Like, that type of perspective is going to be foreign to you, but it's like you guys need some of that. Like, you guys need to do a little bit of an exchange. But overall, it's a breath of fresh air. Their spirit team feel like you're a breath of fresh air for your soulmate, their client. We also have charity. This is the good stuff. We have prayer and contemplation. Very, very deeply emotional. You are deeply emotional. Not surprised about that. For some of you guys, very intuitive. And also beautiful. Your spirit team feels like your soul is beautiful. And that's something that radiates from the inside out. The card says, connect with heaven, ask and you shall receive. This indicates for me you are being watched over by your spirit team, obviously, but also angels. And I feel like this is what is guiding, also somewhat influencing this connection as well. But overall, they find it to be beautiful. And I think it's the type of beauty, once again, that radiates from the inside out. And also there is an aspect about you that is, this is coming across as a little bit of a romantic view. You have a romantic side, as I would expect, because once again, it's coming across as very creative. So you would have to be in tune with your emotion somewhat to really be good at being a creative, you know what I mean? And so naturally, I do feel like, yeah, you are interested in the realms of love, of course. And I think that's something, when you're in love, it's quite beautiful to even look at. Like, I almost want to feel like it would be voyeurism at this point, but I almost feel like it's something to be to look at, to be in awe of, you two together. But look at the emotion, look at the love, which is the water as well. The card says intimacy, but intimacy does not mean sex, okay? Although that could be. And I love the candles. And there's also nature. So once again, beauty as well. Healing this relationship will be, we're healing old ways of being, old ways of thinking, and trying to integrate it into a new version. So, but overall, this intimacy is not necessarily sex. This is like emotional and spiritual intimacy. I also feel like with you, and this is what their spirit team is saying, it's like with you, you look at relationship very differently than most people do. Like for you, like for some people, sex may just be, okay, we just have sex, like, so what about it? But for you, it's like, sex is more than just that. It's about an exchange of energy, which is why you're not going to just be having sex with anyone. You know what I mean? Like casual sex is not a thing for you because it's something a little bit more deeper, and for you it's a little bit more like it's sacred. Your body is sacred, your spirit is sacred, your energy is sacred, and that's how you view it. And so it's almost as if their spirit team is really priding like the fact that you have that type of perspective about yourself, because this is what they really want. I almost feel like for a lot of you guys, maybe you guys don't know this person, but it's like you intuitively know this person's coming, and so you're almost saving yourself for this person as well. But this is art. The way you guys together, how your differences don't conflict, but they actually blend, and they just go well together, just like this two couple, or there's two people in this image. Love that. Let's get into it. We have Persephone over here, legendary goddess. She is now for all these cards, I'm not gonna know all of these gods and goddesses, but I do know her because she is one of the popular ones. This is Persephone. She is the daughter of Zeus and one of his partners, Demeter or something like that. But yeah, Demeter, who is like goddess of fields and crops and stuff like that. But Persephone was she was a part of a deal that Zeus made with Hades to pretty much. Zeus was going to give up Persephone, his daughter, to Hades as a wife. Zeus, being as crooked as he is, reneged on his decision, his deal, and Hades wasn't having that. So Hades did take Persephone without anyone knowing, and everyone was like, where the hell did Persephone go? And of course Persephone was scared. Persephone was like, oh my god, what am I doing here? But after a while, they began to fall in love. Persephone and Hades. So, this card is entitled Cycles. This relationship between you and your soulmate will go through these type of cycles where maybe at first you guys don't see eye to eye, and then it progresses to something quite beautiful. And you guys learn how two different people can actually be beautiful together and really create magic together, I feel. Yeah, I love that energy. This because it indicates the growth that you guys will have, not only as individuals but as a unit. Next card that we have is Hypnos, and this is sleep. Now, for this card in particular, I am getting that with you guys, there's a part of you that has been laying dormant that won't be woken up until this soulmate comes through. For a lot of you guys, it is going to be a part of you that has been missing, or at least not been missing. It's always there, but it just needs to be woken up. That will pretty much be the key to your success. It's the missing ingredient when it comes to your career. So, for some of you guys have yet to meet the people, meet this soulmate. But overall, it's coming across as a relationship that will unlock something within you that will further progress your own life and journey, especially in the realms of career. And I have to say the same for that soulmate as well. There's something about them who I feel like they could be successful, right? But there's something else that's missing. And I think it could be the creative, fun, spontaneity, just go with the flow type of energy that you kind of embody. So in that way, you guys will both be teaching each other stuff and be teaching each other's lessons and just different ways of being that they can integrate within themselves. We have the Kite, which is teacher, which I love. I love this energy. This is going to be a very meaningful connection, which is what you want. But this is major changes that are going to occur within you and externally because of this. So it's more so like, I can't tell you if this is going to be the one, the person that you marry, because it's almost as if that doesn't necessarily matter. It's really about looking at this connection and just enjoying it for what it is. And who's to say, yes, it could be married down the line. We would probably need to pull more cards out because I don't necessarily feel that energy, but what I do feel like it's going to be a very pivotal connection that it's just going to completely and totally change your life. It's because, once again, you're learning a lot. I think in some ways, both of you guys will be mentors to each other. And of course, learning will initiate growth and so on. So we have Saturn in Aquarius. The card is entitled Eccentricity. And I love this because this is referring to, once again, I get that you are like, for them, it's their spirit team is someone saying like it's like mythical, like magical, and they're saying that their client, your soulmate, needs that because it's so out of this world. It's so almost alien. Next, you may even identify as that otherworldly being. And maybe even sometimes your soulmate will find like, you don't make sense. But you actually do make sense. You're just ahead of the game. And for them, it's like, I can't compute, like, error. It doesn't conform to my own abilities and my own realms of thinking. I didn't mean to make it sound like a robot, but it's just that it's very, this is how it is and this is how it can be. When you're like, no, well, this could also be it too. Some of you guys could also be maybe something about your physical appearance, something about the way that you dress, could be quite eccentric or different or out the box and make you really stand out. And I think that's overall the energy, is that you just stand out. You can't help it. And they won't help it either when it comes to being attracted to you. The last card that we have is get out of here. Sun. Happiness and well-being. Once again, I feel like this connection is going to be healing. Overall, in essence, healing. But your energy is what heals. I think you have no trouble making friends. I think you have no trouble getting along with people. I think you have no trouble standing out, being the center of attention. Not to say that that's your goal, but you have no trouble. You're meant to stand out. You're meant to be in the spotlight. Maybe that's going to be a clue to your career. You're meant to be seen by people. Because you shine. You absolutely shine. And I do feel like the career that you are maybe being led towards will have some type of aspect of that to where you are meant to be seen. And one person who's going to see you is obviously going to be your soulmate. and they can't take their eyes off of you. I get the sense that this is going, like, for example, if this is going to be like a future business partner of yours, you are the, oh my gosh, we got the lawnmower in the back. We got my mom blending a smoothie. Like, what's next? A natural disaster? God forbid, but sorry if you guys hear any type of noise or distraction. We're gonna keep it moving along because we got other readings and we got other things to do, and I know you guys got other things to do. Okay, so once again, it's you shine, and in any place, whether it's work, whether it's relationship, and you don't feel encouraged to shine, or if you feel like you're in a place where your light is dimmed in any way, then that's something that you need to leave. And if there's a career that you're not necessarily at the forefront in some way, shape, or form, then I have to tell you, chances are that career isn't for you. And I think there's something about what you're doing that maybe, or that you're going to do, that your soulmate is going to be very instrumental in making it successful. But it's also just your way of being that is going to really shine through to them and penetrate this. What I get is very, I don't want to say rigid, but it's just a very practical person. And there's nothing wrong with that. But together, you guys are a force. Pile number one, beautiful, 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 beautiful energy from the both of you guys. Their spirit team looks to be quite excited to bringing this relationship into fruition if it hasn't already. And yeah, I'm excited for you guys. Big changes coming through with this connection, absolutely. So with that being said, you guys, if you feel so inclined, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. But other than that, I thank you, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye. What is up, pile number two? This is for those who picked the rose quartz crystal. We're about to find out, what does your soulmate spirit team think about you? The cards that they gave us are the Nine of Pills, or the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Best card in the deck, we have the Sun card in reverse. Don't matter that it's in reverse because it's still the best card in the deck. We also have the Four of Swords. We also have the Nine of Swords. We also have number 93, happy ending. We have Sedna, infinite supply. We have White Eagle, ancient wisdom. Oops, I'm sorry. Ancestor spirit. I'm not sure why I said ancient. Oh, I think there's another card that looks similar to this in this deck that I remember being called ancient wisdom, I believe. I could be wrong. Either way, both applies. We also have abundance. We have Katesh, Goddess Katesh. This is pleasure. And we also have the God Akat, dedication. Pink tourmaline, which I think I want to cop. I love how this looks. I need to make a quick run to the spirituality store and really get a lot of new things, honestly. I've just been lazy to go. The pink tourmaline, this is forgiveness. I haven't said that already. We also have number 7. This is Saturn and Libra. Devotion. And as usual, we have this card that we'll get into later. Okay, pile number 2. First and foremost, they wanted to talk about I'm really just getting your energy, which is what it's about. But typically, not typically, but I would assume that maybe some parts of your soulmate energy will also come through. But I'm really just getting just you, because that's what it should be about. I almost feel like their spirit team is just like, it's not about my client. It's not about our client. It's about you. And I almost feel like them saying that is an indication that maybe you've lived a life where it's never been about you when it should have been. Now, this is not in a narcissistic way, but it's more so like there's something about you, really. You're a star. And as I said that, they're showing me the star card. You're meant to shine. But what's happening is that I think you've been through experiences in this life that purposely, and this was done on purpose to really teach you a lesson. Like it was a divine lesson. They purposely put you in positions to where you felt that you needed to hide yourself or hide certain aspects of who you are, when those type of experiences are meant for you to break out of and really shine, regardless of what anyone may say or feel. Part number 2, we're going to have a real talk, because their spirit team is coming through to really get you into, they're calling it back to familiar territory. That's what they said. But you wouldn't know what they mean by that, because this is who you are on a soul level. This is who you've always been on a soul level. But it seems as though that there's always been, this is like a reoccurring lesson that you really need to overcome. And the way you're going to overcome it is really like a switch. They're showing me like a switch, which means that all it takes is you really either telling yourself that this is what it is and not necessarily hearing otherwise from other people. That you're actually beautiful. I'm also getting like physical beauty, not just like new age talk, like, oh my God, you guys are beautiful from the inside out, which is a thing, and it's something that I take great pride and admiration in. But this, for you, I really get the sense it's physical beauty, and also a complete and total love for your looks and your body and who you are, and being very comfortable with who you are. That's, for you, is going to be true beauty, and it's really going to help you shine. Like I said, it's all it takes is like a switch, because I feel like you've been conditioned to believe otherwise, that you weren't maybe as beautiful, or maybe you were always beautiful and yet you were taught to really be modest. You know, they always try to humble women like that a lot of the times, like, oh, be modest, be a lady, when it's like okay for men to act in any way, shape, or form, you know what I mean? So I kind of get that, but we're going to dive right into it and see more about that. 9 of Pentacles. This is the 9 of Pentacles. The 9 of Pentacles is a beauty card. It's once again physical beauty, and you may also have a history of feeling like, when it comes to relationships, like, I need to be in this relationship because without you, I can't do this, or without you, I can't feel this way. You may have always felt like, I need to be in a connection. And their spirit team was almost like, do you not realize you are the shit? Like, do you not realize that? Like, this relationship that's coming to you this is what they're saying. This relationship, this soulmate with our client, trust me, you're gonna love it, but at the same time, you don't need it. like you are going to be the one who's going to be choosing. You know what I mean? Like, but something's off, which is why it's in reverse. Something's off. You guys, they're giving me like Cinderella. And if they give me Cinderella, I have to say this message. So you know Cinderella, Disney Cinderella. You know how this chick was pretty much the most beautiful out of her whole entire step family, right? But was shunned and made to be like a maid. And made to believe that she would never amount to anything besides that. But this is someone who has always been happy, always been, like, even in that experience, always been happy, you know, also could be connected with nature and also animals, but it's indicating that you are actually a lot more than what you've been told. For a lot of you guys, this is like a mother figure that's coming through that was a little bit, this is coming across as very protective energy, very, but it's protection, of course, that's the guise that it's under, but it's a little bit overbearing and it's suffocating because it's preventing you from really becoming who you're meant to be naturally. I get the sense that everyone kind of knows that you're beautiful, physically beautiful, but I think that your worst critic is yourself, and it's because of maybe things that were said to you as growing up. There is conditioning here, and also you could have grown up like maybe if there's religion involved, and you know how that is. Sometimes people, religion or tradition, sometimes it's too restrictive. And you can't naturally, you know, grow into the person that you could be because of this. For some of you guys, I have this one friend. She's not even a friend. She's family. Like her, I know her family. She knows my family. Like, you know, and I love her dearly. But her father is a pastor. Y'all know where I'm going with this. Her father is a pastor, and you already know. When you have a pastor father or a very religious parent, the rules and the restrictions are amplified. And what it does, it really does create for you a perspective like, yo, okay, I can't be that way, or I can't act like that, or I can't do this, and I can't do that. And you're being led to really come to a place of mentality where you really don't care about any of that. You're just going to naturally be who you're supposed to be. Obviously, without breaking the law, without hurting others. Obviously, that goes without saying. But what I mean is that when it comes to you and a sense of self, it's been capped by external forces and factors, and their spirit team is almost helping you break that, I feel, as well, because they know that that's something that will attract their client to you once you actually make that switch. The Sun card. Yes, this is the best card in the deck. It's really no debate. If you want to debate with your mama, not with me. But the Sun card, and as I picked this up, they're showing me the Star card. I'm getting like fame. Like, I don't really like to say stuff like that, but I'm getting, but essentially it's someone, you are physically beautiful. It's physical beauty, but also you have such a great spirit. But I also get that it's something that either was not reinforced Like it wasn't something that was positively reinforced within you as a child, so you were made to believe something else. Or I mean, obviously this is referring to like low self-esteem. But like I said, it's I don't really get that it's your fault. And it's really about reconditioning and reprogramming and really just making, once again, that switch, and you knowing like, yo, I actually am the shit. I actually am beautiful. I actually am this. I actually am that. But I'm also truly getting, it's about really not having inhibitions. Because I feel like those inhibitions are not your own. They're other people's that have been put on you. But you're meant to shine. And I think the way that you're going to shine is really fully embracing who you are, especially when it comes to your physical beauty. Something about your looks, it's physical looks, something about that it's like once you see it, I think everyone already sees it, but it's like once you see it, that's when it will all click. And a new life will be born. The Four of Knives, this is talking about you being asleep. This is really, there's something not clicking. There's something not necessarily being, there's something that's dormant. And I think it's really the who your soul really is. Like, I feel like your soul has been quiet for the longest. And it's dying to break out of this. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen. There's going to be a trigger. There's going to be a click. Whether it's by way of an event, or maybe you just simply just had it, or when you just simply truly fall in love with who you are. And I'm also speaking about every single part of who you are physically. Not, oh, well, I will love myself once I'm able to afford that BBL. Or any type of surgery, which is perfectly fine. Like, if that's what you want to do, go ahead and do it. But I'm talking about at this moment. But the Four of Knives also indicates a moment of rest. This is I feel like for the majority of you guys, how I describe, how their spirit team is describing you is currently what you're going through, but you are about to make a breakthrough to where it's going to be a complete 180. So this moment in time is a very transformative energy for you right now, because something's about to change. Something's about to shift, and you're never going to go back. It's the death card image that they're showing me. You'll never go back to that person that you once were, because this new person would have already emerged. There's some fear there, though. There's some fear here. The Nine of Swords indicates, and the card says, darkest fears. But once again, it applies to upbringing, it applies to traditions, it applies to how people may perceive you or how people may look at you, which doesn't even matter. But it also, I feel like it's deeply rooted, it's ingrained type of conditioning that maybe it's not as easy to get over, but it's really, Spirit is making it seem very easy as a switch, but I'm sure it's a little bit more complex than that. But I strongly feel it has to do with, like, some people may even see like, oh my God, like you are shaming your own family or your own culture by doing this for whatever reason. I don't know. And that's scary for you. But this is your journey. This is your time. This is your time. Once again, I'm being made to feel that once it clicks, once this fear is eliminated, You are going to soar, especially in the realms of, well, all realms. I think more people are going to find you attractive, as well as a very specific career path is opening up for you. And it's up to you whether or not you want to choose it, but it truly emphasizes your physical beauty. So a career path such as that. But I also feel like it's going to be a career path that's where you're going to be in front of maybe a camera or the face of something, because it's something about your physical beauty. Like you don't look the way you do for nothing, is what they're making me feel. There's other things that comes with that could be of great benefit to you. Now we also have number 93, happy ending, and now we're about to get to a little of the deeper parts. It's a little bit deeper than skin. So, because we have the sun here, you are a light. You're a light to people. You shine. Even if you don't feel like you do, but you do. And because you are this light, you will attract people who don't deserve that, don't deserve your light, don't deserve to be around your presence. And I think you guys definitely had some history of that. And the thing about it, I think normally, I get the sense that for most people, they would maybe have an easier time getting over maybe extensive betrayal, or maybe a breakup, or even a friendship breakup. But for you, it's not as easy as that. It's something that really and truly bothers you when a connection doesn't make it all the way. So this could be something that you're trying to really adapt to, that some relationships, some connections aren't necessarily meant to continue. Some have a purpose, some have the lessons that you need to learn, and once you do reach that moment, we move on energetically. It may happen in maybe unpleasant ways, but the purpose is always the same, in that we learned all that we could here. Now it's time for something else. And maybe that reoccurrence, that's an occurrence that happens quite frequently in your life, that it puts you in a place to where you don't feel like you'll ever have that happily ever after. And of course you will. But I get the sense that it really, it bothers you a lot more than maybe normal people when relationships don't work out. So that to me indicates you're someone who loves hard. You're someone who really gives people the benefit of the doubt. You really do believe and trust in people naturally. And some people may call it naive, but I just feel like you see the good in people. And that will always trump any of the obvious red flags. So it depends how you see it. Some people may call that as a trait that is worth getting rid of, but I feel like there's something about that innocence, that you should remain. But I think, of course, there probably could be some balance that's needed, some discernment that's needed. But every connection and every relationship that you've had thus far was necessary for your own growth. And they're saying that it was necessary to get to this point, or to get to the point to where you and your soulmate will be together. We have Setna, infinite supply. have to stand down on it. I have to. I'm standing 10 toes down on what I said previously, because they're showing me once again the world card. Public figure could be something in the limelight, something in the spotlight, something on camera. I just feel like with you, you're meant to be, that's your calling in some way. And that's up to you to really figure out in what way that could be. But I almost feel like with you, and we're going to get into past life stuff, because that's something that's also wanting to be talked about. But your way of success, your key to success is going to be really putting yourself out there and really being comfortable with being seen by a lot of people and having confidence. And I think, maybe the advice is to fake it till you make it, but I feel like eventually you will embody the confidence. They're also showing me the Queen of Wands image, of course, but the confidence that you need, and that is truly who your soul is. But infinite supply speaks about abundance. It speaks about I always have everything that I want. I never run out of it. But this, I really feel like it's a career message. This is how you're going to become successful, or this is one of the ways that you're going to become successful, or you could become successful. Because there's many routes that you could take, but you would thrive in which you are either the face, or you're on camera, or you are in public view. That path will lead to a lot of money for you. But I think I think their spirit team is really saying that there's a lot more that you've been, because I almost feel like you've been sheltered. That's what it feels like. It feels like you've been sheltered into thinking, and this is no disrespect, because they're showing me Amish people, but it's no disrespect because I don't really know Amish people. But the idea is that there's no electricity, there's no modern technology, like there's nothing like that because of whatever reason, right? But it's something like that, to where I feel like you've been shunned to this, but you really are supposed to embrace it. And you're going to know it by way of how quickly you become successful in this particular path. Overall, I also see that this is a trait that you have, half glass full. Very positive, very optimistic energy that you have, despite having gone through what you've gone through. But I think for a lot of you guys, it is a defense mechanism. It is a defense mechanism. Sometimes, I think it's natural, your natural disposition, but I do believe sometimes you are forced to not necessarily go really deep and see what exactly is troubling you from a really 5D perspective, and you would just rather keep a smile on. But I think naturally that is your energy, is very optimistic and very bright. And we also have this card, White Eagle, Ancestor Spirit. So this is what they want to refer to. Do you guys have a long line of people that you either descended from, or this could just be a past life, but you've always lived a life to where, or they've always lived a life to where they've been faced with opposition, with them just being them just naturally being who they are. And it's almost as if they're taking this opportunity, this incarnation of yours, to really rid that. And they're doing it in the most big and more profound way, which is why I'm getting public figure for you as a career path. because that is, I can't think of any other way to really combat maybe even the uh, the energetic ties to that type of it feels like a wound. Like it feels like a maybe an inner child wound. Even the ancestral residue, and even the historical residue of people like you being oppressed in some way, shape, or form. And it could have to do with how you look. It could also even be maybe you've like, I feel like this is mainly directed towards women, but it could also be for men as well. But you know how women are oftentimes taught, like, oh my God, be a lady. Like, you're not supposed to be this, you're not supposed to be that. You gotta be modest. You can't be. You're supposed to be in tune with your emotions, but you can't be too emotional, and you can't also be. There's so much restriction on how women are just supposed to just even live and even breathe. You're here to change that in some way, shape, or form. It's very profound, and I think from your soulmate's perspective, it is going to be admirable because you are stepping out. You are doing something, and you are being something that maybe a lot of people would shun, would have an issue with. You know what I mean? But it's almost like that spirit team is like, your soulmate spirit team is like, no, you have to do this. Because once you actually get it through your head that you are, I keep using the word the shit, but it's really just a synonym to say you are beautiful, you are someone who attracts pretty much everyone, and this is something that you can actually utilize for a career and not feel bad about it, not feel guilty about it. I feel like you have a long line of powerful people that you descended from, or and you, in a sense, are going to make a statement. Like, I may be this, or I may be a woman, I may be a man, or I may be this person, I may grow up religious, but this is who I am today. Like, I defined who I am. And it's going to be a statement. And it's going to feel like a risk even for a lot of you guys. But you'll do it because Spirit wants you to do it. I think, like I said, this is romance that we're speaking about. At least that's the umbrella that we're looking through, or that's the umbrella that we're under, and that's the lens that we're looking through. But once again, it's their spirit team really emphasizing you. And I feel like this is something that you probably have yet to feel. But I don't get the sense that it's coming from a place of narcissism. You're someone who likes to stray away from the spotlight, but not because you don't want it. It's more so because you've been taught and conditioned that that's not what you should desire. When there's a reason why you actually desire it. Oh yeah, abundance. Your soulmate is really going to love how you do this. Like, I'm not sure if you know your soulmate currently, but what I will say is that they're going to love your story. They're also going to love how it feels like there's going to be a unique route to make it, or at least a route that most people don't necessarily take when it comes to making money that you'll take. That's also admirable. And it's really just an indication that, you kind of, like, yeah, there's a divine plan for all of us, but we still have free will. Like, this is really you redefining who you are. and what your life is going to be. Like, this is almost like alchemy at some point. This is magic that you're doing. But that's probably why they said it's as simple as a switch, and the ball will start rolling. They're showing me the Empress, which also is beauty once again. We're getting beauty, physical beauty. I promise you, I know you're not gonna believe it. Bookmark this video. I believe when you finally click that revelation in that, it finally hits you like, yo, I actually am the shit. It shifts everything for you. Everything for you. You're gonna discover new ways to make money. You're going to find that more people, I feel like there's people who are naturally attracted to you, but you don't necessarily see it a lot of the times, but you're going to be made privy of the people who are actually attracted to you. A lot of people are going to be attracted to you more than now, because now you see what they're attracted to. Abundance of love and money coming for you. I promise you, this, I see you guys being very, very wealthy in some endeavor. And it has to do because you took a risk, you stepped out, and you are in the spotlight of some sort. Let's go. So we have Katesh. This is pleasure. Love this card for you. Love this goddess for you, because this is the exact opposite of what we've been indicating when it comes to your energy. The exact opposite. This is someone who's fully embodied, who has fully embodied their power. And there's also power when it comes to even sexuality and beauty. And I think this is something that oftentimes people tend to shun. And but with you, you're going to thrive. You're going to thrive from that angle. Once again, it's you are the one front and center, while everyone else is in the back. And it's not necessarily in a demeaning way or anything like that. Nothing negative really that comes about it, but you are being pushed to the forefront. In this case, these two people can represent a lot of people, but in this case, it's spirit pushing you to the forefront, backing you up 100%. The card is entitled Pleasure, so this is the goddess of pleasure. So I feel like, I know this is not going to resonate for everybody what I'm about to say, and that's okay. Sorry for this airplane. Flew out. City girls. Anyways, so this card, they're giving me a message that I know it's not going to resonate with everybody, and that's okay. But you know how OnlyFans is like, or anything like that, it's like one of those things, it's kind of still taboo even. Like, people are not putting it on their resume, I work for OnlyFans, or I do OnlyFans, you know, or people are not really saying that out loud for a lot of times. Like, people are not necessarily embracing OnlyFans as a legitimate way of making money, because it is all about beauty, or all about physical appearance, and even pleasure, and obviously sexuality, which are all the things that I feel you were kind of taught to like dwindle and keep a lid on. I'm using OnlyFans as an example because I see that as a route, because I'm very sex positive here. I find OnlyFans to be ingenious. I'm not a particular patron, but I don't, you know, it's for me, it's that avenue was amazing. It's amazing because it allowed people who may not necessarily be the smartest, who may not necessarily be all these other things, and maybe they are too. But my point is, it's an avenue for you just to really rely on physicality, maybe sexuality, and also beauty. Some people even have OnlyFans with just them being them, you know. That's just an example. But I think they use that example to really emphasize how there's something about you being seen that is meant to happen. And I think this is also going to be a way, but if you haven't met the soulmate yet, this is also going to be how you're going to meet them. And I think it also going to prove to be somewhat of a dichotomy, because you're coming across as very bright, very, very sweet even, and very nurturing as well. And some people may not even see that coming from someone who looks like you. They wouldn't expect that. So there's that duality that it will be appreciated by your soulmate as well. Let's get into that. We have this god Akat. This is dedication. So, you love hard, don't you? And for you, it's not just about, like, every connection, every relationship has a significant part. Like, for you, they are all important, I feel. Like, you're not someone who's like you don't really put, I mean, you could, but I'm just saying, like, you put value in friendships as well as values in romantic relationship, and not everyone does that. And I feel like with you, you put your all into these connections, and sometimes it's not reciprocated. And I feel like dedication is the word, the perfect word to use, because you are dedicated to the people that you choose to put into your life. Which is why when something goes haywire, when something doesn't necessarily go as planned and relationships break or doesn't last, it affects you tremendously. You can't help but do that. But this is also indicating for me, you're going to be put into groups of people which could be your soul family, to where they encourage this part about you, and also really reiterate and really reinforce the fact that you, once again, beauty, you are the shit, things like that. They're gonna be like, obviously you're beautiful. Like, you can be like, what? You think I'm beautiful? And be like, you know, there's some actresses who do that all the time. They be like, and I used to always judge them. I'd be like, you're just fishing for a compliment. But in some cases, some people truly don't know. There's going to be people who are going to be as dedicated to you as you are to them. And that's something that you've been missing. And you believe it's not going to happen, but it is. With this energy, oh yeah, it is. We have pink tourmaline. This is forgiveness. This is referring to all those bad, not bad, because they all have their purposes, but all those relationships that maybe ended unexpectedly. Because it's like, although I've moved on, there's still a wound that's present. You know what I mean? I've healed and bandaged it up, but the wound is still there. So this is a lesson for you that you've been learning, and I think it also is a testament to your love for people. It feels there's a love for people, there's a love for humans, there's a love for interpersonal connections, there's a love for social connections. in some sense, yeah, that does have us, that can put us in a vulnerable position to be very hurt if, those relationships, if we're not treated justly. And so, with you, there is a beautiful nature that you have when it comes towards people. And I truly believe you probably, without, clearly without going too serious, I truly believe you can forgive people for anything. Doesn't mean we're going to be best friends again, but I will always love you. I just maybe have to do it from a distance. Not everyone can achieve that. That's high level. I mean, this is something that you've always been, but I feel like that's high level. Like you're a graduate from spirituality school, pretty much. Getting your doctorate. So the next card we have is number 7. This is Saturn in Libra. Devotion. Once again, being devoted, being dedicated. I also see there could be a career or a path that's opening up that has to do with being of service to people. But it's going to be in a big way. It's not. You're not just going to be in a doctor's office. You're not just going to do. This is like maybe having your own nonprofit organization, or maybe having some type of a popular. It's something about being famous or something about being in the face. You're going to be the face of this company probably, but dedicating your life to the service of people in some way. That's another route. This card I love because although you're a whole person yourself, the person, your soulmate, is also being described as being a whole person themselves as well. But together, you got, one is the sun, one is the moon. Together we stick like glue. As one. You're being guided to like-minded individuals, especially if this partner is going to be it's like the opposite, but we're still the same. We're same but different. We're the same but different. We're each a side of the same coin. This person is going to be completely, the soulmate, completely devoted to you, as you will for them. But I do feel like together, there's a bigger devotion that you guys may develop for a maybe bigger cause. But hey, that remains to be seen. But overall, I do feel like there is a selflessness that comes with you that is quite beautiful and attractive. The last card that we have is Arrow. You are on the right path. I believe that's what it says, if I remember correctly, but you are on the right path regarding some aspect of your life. Exactly. Anything that happened in the past that wasn't the most sweetest, maybe it was a little bit sour to deal with, it was meant to happen. You are currently being guided towards this soulmate connection, but more importantly, the spirit team is also saying you're being guided to really, truly embodying your soul's energy, which is very bright, very optimistic, but very out there, someone who will always be seen, someone who's not scared to really shine. And it's going to be beautiful because I see abundance being, attracted towards you because of this change that you're going to be making. Yeah. Overall, pile number 2, your soulmate spirit team is quite enamored with you. I think that's the perfect word to use. Quite enamored with you. And I think that you will actually be a great influence on their client. So I hope that you enjoyed that. I really did enjoy this reading, and sorry for going too long, but things needed to be said. So with that being said, I thank you. If you feel so inclined, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. But other than that, I will catch you guys next time. Bye. What is up, pile number 3? This is for those who pick the beautiful Amethyst stone. We're about to find out, what does your soulmate spirit team think about you or think of you? Oh, yeah, let's get into it. The card that they gave us is, we're starting off with the Empress. Love this depiction. Empress, love that, love that. We also have the 4 of Pentacles in reverse. We also have the 10 of Cups. The Magician. I'm getting chills. We have number 4, Perseverance. We also have Isolt, Undying Love. We also have Elmoria. This is Awakening Presence. I love how this card looks with the backdrop. I don't know, I have a thing for the aesthetics, you already know. We also have Maturity. We got, oh yeah, this is Yoruban from Yoruba. That's the one pantheon that I need to really study, because I'm familiar with some of them, but I need to really study because I'm very interested. Oh yeah, power. And this legend, when he stops by, it's we're talking big things. This is Ganesha. This legend. I love Ganesha. Sometimes referred to as Ganesh. Obstacles. We have Pyromorphite. Patience. We also have Sun in Aquarius, like me. Idealism. And of course, we have this card that we'll get into later. Pile number 3. Put it quite simply, and I don't want to really put any type of pressure on you or unlock maybe some shadow aspects about you, but their spirit team is wanting to summarize this reading as you, seeing you as the total package. The total package. The total package. It's like, no one's perfect, and it cuts to a picture of you. Because before you, I thought no one's perfect, but I see I was wrong. I just haven't met the perfect person. I think that's enough that we have to say as a summary. Let's get into the cards. The Empress. Baby, this is the divine feminine, of course, but this is, in every aspect, you are my type. In every aspect, you are perfect for me. In every aspect, you embody everything that I could want in a partner. But what this card also explains is that this is beauty, but this is beauty not only because I'm physically beautiful, but it's beauty because I say it is. I define that it's beautiful, and so that it is. This is also something that they're also making me feel like it's been a long time coming. Like maybe this is who you are as a soul, but we've been waiting for this to emerge. And I think for a lot of you guys are either on the brink of this or you guys are already embodying this. So this is just nothing but confirmations. But there's also something about career here. I think a lot of you guys have been trying to produce stability, trying to produce abundance. You guys have huge financial dreams, and I'm here to tell you, I'm here to confirm that you will get it. But it's not because it's simply because, oh well, Sally is meant to, make this much, but Betty is meant to. No, it's not about that. This is about you feeling empowered enough to where you believe that that's something that's plausible, and so that it is. Your spirit team is more so like, whatever you say goes, pretty much. And granted, it's like, I think there is still a designated path for you, but it's more so that they're open. I mean, as you would probably think, I mean, we do have free will, but they're like trusting in you that what you want, what you say is actually the case. There's something about your energy that's very assertive, but not in a way where it's could be seen as negative. Very assertive, you know what you want, and because you know what you want, you're going to get it. This is confidence personified. This is beauty personified. And this is abundance. Abundance of not only money, but also love for oneself. This is also speaking about being very connected when it comes to nature, animals as well. But going back to the career, there's something that I feel a lot of you guys are trying to build or really create for yourself. And I see it being success. However, and I think you guys already know this because I feel like a lot of you guys are already on this path. You know it's not going to happen overnight. You know that. Because this is not no small feat. But it will happen. We have the Four of Pills in reverse. One thing about their spirit team is, I think your spirit team have, obviously, they have a very good view of your history, so they know what you've been through. And I think for maybe when it comes to past relationships, some of them have not necessarily been the most easy to get over. But for you have definitely healed through all those. You've learned and you've integrated that in your own life and apply it to where you can now grow and become even more beautiful, even more stronger, even more powerful. Not everyone can do that. I hate to say that not everyone will learn how to do that. But this is complete mastery of that, which is what the universe would want for all of us. Also, another career message that they want to give. If you guys have been, let's just say if you guys have been trying to become successful, it seems like a catch-22, but the secret for you to become successful is that is to not try. The way that you're going to be successful is going to be natural, it's going to be effortless, it's going to feel effortless, and it's going to be something that you enjoy. You cannot be successful in something if you don't enjoy it. Enjoyment is the key. The world is your oyster, is what they're saying. If something's not enjoyable to you, drop it. And I also feel like if what you're doing isn't enjoyable, this is indicating it's time for a switch. Because your type of success is going to be very effortless, very natural. Money attracts to you. Success finds you. Money finds you. This is the energy. This is how it's going to work for you. It's almost like you found the cheat code into how probably manifestation works. And because of that, every single thing that you want from this life, you will get. This is the Ten of Cups. The perfect partner to the perfect spouse, they're saying. This next relationship is going to be a huge, if it's not the one, it's a huge soul connection. Marriage, kids, pet, the whole 9 yards. They're saying that this is going to actually happen. The progression between you and your soulmate is going to happen rather quickly, but it's not going to be nothing to fear. It's because we're so familiar. We know each other to where it's like we're just going to start where we left off. And I'm not speaking about exes, really, even though that could be a case, but I'm really speaking about past life for this case, because this is a connection that transcends. This is a soul connection. This is a reunion, pretty much. So, in relation to your soulmate, there's a sense of familiarity that comes with you. There's a sense of completion that comes with you. Because you have every single thing that your soulmate feels like they're missing from life. And vice versa. Even though the Empress indicates that you have everything, you don't really feel like you're missing anything. But once you guys come in connection, you'd be like, you know what, I never knew I needed this, but I'm so grateful that you're here. Completely in tune with your emotions. I think you have a desire to really live a very comfortable and enjoyable life. Because with you love to laugh, you love to have fun, that's in your nature. You are here to enjoy this life. You're not here for this to be one long and hard journey. Now, granted, it doesn't mean you're not going to be facing some type of challenges, right? But your life is meant to be, once again, I keep saying, the world is your oyster. But something tells me you already knew that. The Magician here. This is also confidence personified. You know the type of life you want. You know the type of life that you want to manifest, and you know it's coming to you, don't you? You know it. Yeah. If you haven't mastered it yet, you will master what they're referring to. This is really the true embodiment of what manifestation is supposed to be. The intention is set, but also the action is also made. But at the same time, I'm not putting so much effort to where I don't enjoy what I do. I don't have to try as hard. Life is not about trying hard for you. It's about doing what I need to do, but at the same time, having complete assurance that what I want is coming towards me. And that type of perspective resonates on the same level as the universe, and the universe is, in spirit, is really backing you up 100%. You're completely protected by universe and your spirit team. This person that's coming through is also similar. I think both of you guys will meet when you guys have both manifested a very prosperous and successful life for yourselves, and then together I see you guys both creating something as well. This is where you guys both thrive. Making something into reality and seeing it grow and progress. I feel like a lot of you guys watching this will be very addicted to seeing how quickly the things that you want come to fruition. What's the secret? And it really isn't a secret. It's really one of those things that's like, it's a secret that's hiding in plain sight. We have perseverance. So here we go. This is the character. This is the character that you've kind of built upon. You've been through some things. You've been through some hardships. I also feel like even with careers, it's been a long road. You never gave up. You never lost direction. You never lost focus. You never lost hope. You may have gotten shaky, but you never lost it. This is like optimism, the type of optimism, like you are the type of person that is, like, this is as an example, but you are someone who would rather, if it meant that I'm going to eventually become ultimately fulfilled, I will walk aimlessly in this dark tunnel if I even have a hope of reaching the light. Not everyone has the balls. Not everyone has the confidence. Not everyone has the strength. Not everyone has the trust and faith in the universe and their spirit team the way that you do, like this. It's powerful. It's admirable. It's like you have the power to really move mountains. I hate to say it, power couple is coming through with you and this person. For those of you guys who, because we have the Empress here, and I see a perfect match. So this is divine counterpart, but I also feel for those of you guys who believe in twin flame, that is that. But not the type of twin flame in which, yes, twin flame connections could be very intense. And I feel a lot of times it's glorified, but this is really a mature twin flame connection. Elevated. We have Isolde, Undying Love. This card also gives me Emperor's energy because of the nature aspect of this card, but I'll say this, there definitely was there was an ending of sorts. I feel like for some of you guys, this was a relationship in the past. And for others of you guys, this is an ending of a relationship that happened in a past life that's actually making a comeback. it was not an ending, it was a to be continued. This love that you have, that you're going to have, that you actually always have for this soulmate of yours, it transcends time and space. This is eternal. This is divine. This is, once again, instant recognition when you guys meet. Every relationship that you had prior to this connection, you've learned, you've integrated, you've grown, and it was leading up to this. You are a very emotionally intelligent person, but also someone who's capable of really displaying healthy emotional practices. You know how to instill that into relationships and really elevate them to new heights. And I think this is something that your soulmate can also do. Very emotionally mature, because our goal is always, we both have the same goal, which is love. And that's the universe's goal as well. We match. I'm also getting psychic with this group. Of course I am. If you have yet to meet this person, trust me, you guys are connected in more ways than you think. Try it sometimes. Try talking to them. Even when you're alone, when you're not really alone, of course, but when you're alone, try talking to them. And see how you sleep. See what you dream. Because you guys are absolutely around each other at all times. Your energies was always with each other. I'm getting psychic. It's a psychic pile here. You probably can't see it, but there's a moon symbol here. Intuitive, psychic. I'm also getting you're truly the divine feminine. Like, this is really insane. This is pure divine femininity. It's I'm insane. It's insane only because I'm just like in awe. All right, so let's get into the next card. We have Elmoria. This is Awakened Presence. Look at that. We have the third eye. The third eye. This relationship is going to awaken a lot of things within you that has laid dormant for this very connection. But overall, you're very intuitive. You're very psychic. You're very psychic. I also see someone who's quite honest, and it's like, I don't lie to you, so you better not lie to me. Oh, you'll regret it. No, it's like, do yourself a favor and always tell me the truth. Trust me, because I'll know if it's not the truth. But overall, I think within you there's another part, there's another aspect of who you are that's waiting to be woken, and that's going to happen by way of your partner. I think you probably already know that you have some psychic abilities, but that it's something that will only be amplified when you come into union with this person. The thing I liked about this card is you have the perfect balance of where you can love somebody, you can forgive people. Doesn't mean that you're going to be in my space though. That you also have a great sense of discernment. And it's not being mean. It's not being like aloof. No, you don't have no problems making friends. You don't have problems making connections. But you will decide who is worthy of that, as you should. And you can tell automatically. You can tell automatically who's right for you. A great sense of discernment that seems magical, seems psychic, that cannot be explained otherwise, besides associating with psychic and mysticism. But that is an aspect of also femininity, divine feminine energy. This is powerful. You truly are becoming the divine feminine, if you're not already. This is the path for you. Because it's going to, once you feel that way, once you recognize that part about you, it really will open so many doors. Let's continue. We have maturity. Wisdom here. No matter what age you may be, you are someone who your soulmate is going to really want to pick your brain. And I think you want to do that for them as well. You're knowledgeable about a lot of things, interesting things. But also, one thing about this card that also needs to be highlighted, once again, your spirit team is always, they don't leave your side. Your spirit team do not leave your side. They're very invested in this, in not only in you, obviously, but this connection as well. They do not leave your side at all. And I guess the same could be same for everybody, but I constantly feel like they're always like watching to make sure that, you know, no one's harming you, but also making sure that we, you know, we fulfill what we came here to do, which for you is going to be a lot. A lot of big things are going to be popping. Absolutely, especially when it comes to money. But there's wisdom, there's knowledge. You could be someone that's formally, traditionally educated, and that's something that is admirable as well. Guess what? There's also going to be a moment, an epiphany, if you will, in which this will all click. And I feel like for some of you guys, you guys do manifestation, you guys do journaling. There's going to be a moment in which maybe you're journaling that it's going to click to you, like maybe The Secret. You know, maybe it's going to be a little bit more detailed than just, in order to get successful, you just don't have to try it out. It's going to be a little more detailed. You're going to know exactly what it is you're supposed to be doing, exactly what lane that you're supposed to be in. But you would have never gone into this part without all of what you've been through. All of what you've been through led to this point, and it's something that you have been actively integrating. Like, for example, my last relationship, you know, I didn't know this person was doing this behind my back. Now I know discernment. You know, now I integrate that to, although I still have trust in people, I'm going to be a lot more wary about the signs that are laid out for me. That's just an example. But this is growth. And there's something specific, a specific idea or an epiphany that's going to hit you, and it's really going to set you on this path to a ascension, pretty much. This is divine feminine energy. So, the next card that we have is, oh yeah, this is power. This is a goddess of Yoruba. Oh yeah, it's like the goddess. She's a goddess of power, but also like she's also, I believe she's also married to a very significant. Sorry for the airplane. Very significant god who I believe controls like the storm or weather or something like that. But this reminded me of Storm. I'm sorry. They were giving me Storm. If you guys don't know Storm, Storm is from X-Men, which I love. I thought I was a Marvel fan, but I'm really not a Marvel fan. I'm definitely not a DC fan like that, but I thought I would always say I'm a Marvel fan, but really I'm not really a Marvel fan either. I'm an X-Men fan. Like that's the only thing I really care for in a comics book, because I love X-Men. But I'm getting Storm. Storm is a mutant, that's how they refer to themselves as, that can control the weather, can manipulate the energies of the weather, and that's kind of what this is, her ability as well, is like in the middle of a storm, that's her, that's controlling the movement, and that really speaks about your own empowerment that we've been highlighting. You're controlling your destiny. You're controlling how you define what your life is going to be. And because of that, you are completely in your own power. And with great finesse. And I see power couple once again. The name escapes me, but this goddess is also married to a very significant god. And they're both a big deal in this particular pantheon. It's with grace, with a certain type of very eloquent, but still powerful. It's like you can have all those maybe soft, maybe even dainty qualities of femininity, but still don't mess with me. You know, every rose has its thorn, like that type of feel. This legend, Ganesha, is here to say. Obstacles. Yeah, you guys been through a lot, but your spirit team is really removing a lot of things so that you could really become successful. Success is a huge dream of yours, huge desire of yours. You're going to get it. And this is really indicating how, or not how it's going to happen, but more so what's going to take place prior to you and the soulmate coming to union. It's just a success guaranteed. Success guaranteed for sure. Because there's too many people, it's too many energy, angelic beings, other beings on your who is ensuring your success. There's too many. It's just you can't fail. And I think that's also going to be a trait that your soulmate loves. Their spirit team is saying that you've overcome what maybe some people would call the impossible, and yet you still became a success. You have drive, determination, And even in those moments where you feel like the odds are stacked up against you, you don't falter. That just makes you even more stronger. This is about power we're talking about. I'm just so scared. I'm scared of you. As in like, as in reverence. We have power morphite, patience. Every word that every person in spirituality hates to hear. But for you, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's really, time is not a factor. And if it is a factor now, it's timing and things about that isn't necessarily going to be much of a factor. Because timing is subjective. That time does not exist in the 5D. It does not exist at all. So, and I feel like the things that you're manifesting are huge things, and you're going to get it, and it just takes some time. But this just really speaks about your tenacious spirit. You also not really taking no for an answer. And once again, if this is something that you are struggling with, you will heal from this. As indicated with the green, you will heal from this. And completely embody the energy of really just being confident that things will work out. And I think that also is associated with that statement of trying without trying. Effortless. That's how you'll, like, everything's coming to you. We have career, we have abundance, we have love. Like, all these things don't require your extra effort besides what you naturally already been doing or what you've been drawn to do. You know what I mean? Like, these already lined up for you. But of course, that's something that you already knew, especially with this card. This is Sun in Aquarius. You guys could be an Aquarius like me. But it speaks about idea. Once again, this is spirit pouring and watching over you. You're the chosen one. You're the precious one. What's funny as well, we're getting back to this card. For some of you guys, this is an ex, but it's an ex from a past life. And in that past life, it was not, the relationship did not end the way it was supposed to. This is the new opportunity. I also see it for a lot of you guys, there's going to be an opportunity that you take hold of that's going to put you in front of the person that you're supposed to be with. Doesn't mean that this person's going to be your business partner and you're going to be working together. It doesn't mean that. But it's going to open doors, you're going to be around people, and it's going to put you in the spaces of your soulmate. And it's time to redo. This is a reunion once again, but this time it's going to work out the way it's meant to. And you know why? Your imagination, your thought patterns, the way that you think, the way that you view life, will absolutely come to fruition as well. And we have spirit spirit just really watching over you. But this also speaks about the optimism. This also speaks about how you just believe that things will always be good. And you've been proven, or you will be proven to be that you're right. This spirit team of your soulmate feels that once again, you really don't need the connection, but it's a cherry on top to the amazing life that you're going to create for yourself. Because this is someone who thinks similarly to you. This is a true soulmate, true divine counterpart. You guys are the same. We have number 11. I didn't realize that until now, which is also associated with divine counterpart, also twin flame. Count number 3. The last card that we have. I love this card. This card is so funny to me. I mean, I love it for not the reason why it came out, but I just love it. It's Pig. Beware of greed. It's funny because this card, the way that it's worded, it's supposed to be a warning, but I almost feel like with you, it's the very reason as to why you're going to get everything that you want. That desire of yours is incredibly strong. It's incredibly strong. It resonates with everyone who comes in contact with you. It resonates with spirit and the universe. They're answering your calls favorably. And I also feel like if there is a warning, it's more so like not to look at your current situation if in fact you are not living the abundant life currently, not to look at the physical aspects of your life from a lens of like glass, half empty, you know what I mean? And not really looking at life from a place of lack. That's also going to be a key factor in how you enjoy life. Because once again, it's your tenacious spirit, your perseverance is incredibly too strong to where it's almost as if, even if it wasn't, let's say, meant for you, you're brute forcing it to be meant for you. And the spirit's like, well, okay, she wants it. The universe is like, then give it. And that's power. That's powerful. That's almost godlike. I mean, I see why they wanted me to use this Goddess and God deck, because maybe for this power alone. Pile number 3. Needless to say, this is probably my favorite pile. All the piles have been amazing so far. I'm not gonna hold you, but this probably takes the cake for me. Your soulmate spirit team in the most humble way is saying that your life is going to be good without this relationship, this connection. But because you want it, it's going to happen. And it will. Because you are perfect. Nurturing, abundant, loving, the perfect spouse, the perfect parent. You truly live life in the most, like your inner child is also rejoicing. You truly live life in a way where it's meant to be enjoyed. Because people forget about that. People forget that life is about that too. This is school, of course. This is where we learn and grow, but you're someone who's really, truly going to take the fact that life is supposed to be enjoyed to higher levels. I see abundance. I see career explosion, really, and it just blowing up. I see you really being in tune to your own manifestation powers and abilities. I see you being very in tune continuously with your soulmate's energy. I see spirit teams still babysitting you, not babysitting you like as in a bad thing, but babysitting you like they can't get enough of you, like they want to make sure that everything goes according to your plan. Oftentimes that could be met with stubbornness from your end, but I think overall the picture that you want will absolutely be granted to you. They're saying that your soulmate is lucky. Is lucky to have you. Pile number 3, I hope that you enjoy this. Thank you so much for this. If you feel so inclined, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. But other than that, I will catch you guys next time. Bye. What is up? Pile number 4. This is for those who picked the Sodalite stone. We're about to find out, what does your soulmate spirit team think about you? Let's get into it. The cards that they gave us are the Knight of Swords in reverse. We also have the Two of Swords. We have the Tower in reverse. Number 4. This is the Four of Wands. Number 37, Time Out. This is Irene. Peace. Goddess Irene. We also have this guy, y'all know him. Master Jesus. Forgiveness. We also have compatibility. We have the Muses. I feel like most people should be familiar with them. We also have Mistress. This is Greek or Roman. Mistress, sacrifice. Morganite, which is actually a very beautiful stone. Morganite. Relationship healing. Number 1, we also have Saturn in Aries. Risk. And this card I will get into later. Interesting one right here, pile number 4. Interesting one. I have to say, straight up, there's soulmate that's coming through for a lot of you guys could be an ex. Now, with that being said, this reading will not tell you to engage, like continue to be with this ex, if that's not what's being called for you. But that route is there. For others of you guys, this is a new person that is, they've dealt with the same type of ex. So coming into this new relationship with you, they are, they're expecting the same thing, and they're about to be sad. They're about to be happily mistaken. um, you're gonna change this person's life. For some reason, they're also saying for some of you guys, you're saving this person's life. I'm not sure what they mean by that. But you will have such an immense impact on this person's life that they would have been on a different path without you. They would have been on a different route without you. So their spirit team is almost giving gratitude for you. Because it's almost as if they were on this path and then they were like, hold up, that was not where we were supposed to be going. Like, we're gonna need backup. Can you send that Soulmate in? I know that Soulmate was scheduled for 2 years, but can we kind of up it to 2 weeks? Thanks. Like, I feel like, that was obviously a dramatization, but my point is, I almost feel like it was an emergency and you needed to come through. For a lot of you guys, if this is an ex, this is their soulmate, or that was a soulmate, but this is also their spirit team kind of letting you know the impact and what you've done for them, and kind of how even if the relationship ended and you have no plans of going back, this is why you were such a important factor in that soulmate's life. Let's begin. Knight of Swords. With you, I feel like there's not really, when it comes to life, there really isn't much thinking involved. Not to say that you have a brain, but what I mean is that that's not what you operate on. You don't operate on the mind, you operate on the heart. You're the type of person who makes decisions based off intuition, based off what people would consider to base off a whim, but really it's really because of how I feel. That's enough to go by. I get that the soulmate is not like that at all. You're okay with rushing into being head first. Fearless is the word that they're wanting to use. Very fearless. It had this energy about life that is very foreign to most adults, because it's like, as an adult, you're supposed to work until you die, pretty much. You're supposed to work until you die, or work until you retire, and then. But it's like, why do I have to work in order to get to the good part of life? You know what I mean? Like, that happens now. That happens when I say so. We have the Two of Knives. So this is, to me, is very decisive. Like, it's like you may not necessarily use your mind as the source of your decisions and how you figure out where to go. It's really intuitive. It's really your emotions that really leads you to the answer that you need. And I feel like a lot of you guys, there was a moment with this person, for those of you guys who resonate with the ex, in which you really have to really sit there and see if this relationship was even worthy. And for you, it's about happiness. It's about joy. It's about, does this make me happy? Despite how long we've been together, does it make me happy? And for those of you guys who don't have an ex, This is just a general message. Decisions, like when you come down a path, you are someone, or a crossroads to where, a fork in the road to where you have to just make a decision. It's not something that's that difficult for you to do. Because you trust in your intuition, you trust in yourself. I don't have to make a pros and cons list, no. And really, I feel like the compass is really which route is going to make me the most happy. As simple as that is, not everyone understands that that's really one of the keys to life. And for some of you guys, you choosing your own happiness was an easy choice for you to make when it comes to whether or not you should stay in this relationship or not. Very decisive, and once I make my decision, that's pretty much it, because I'm very much in tune to my higher self and my intuition as to what is right for me. Some of you guys could be newly divorced, or maybe this relationship that they're referring to ended in divorce, or this could be someone coming through who was divorced from another relationship. And I think if that is the case, the latter, it's coming into contact with you. You were the exception, just like that Paramore song that we all love. Actually, there's a lot of Paramore songs us black people love. But you really were the catalyst to them finding a new perspective about love. And I think even if this is an ex, they look back at that and look about how much they messed up. And they learned from it. It's a shame that they learned after, but that doesn't matter. The point is they learned. And it was thanks to you. The Tower card in reverse, you will change this person's life. They weren't expecting this change. They didn't want this change. But it will happen. This is from the inside. And I think it has to do with something about their perspective about life. It has to do with something that they once believed, that they truly followed when it comes to life. And when it comes to really believing in going after your own desires. And I feel like that's something that you strongly live by. And this person, I feel, is a little bit, they don't dream. I don't feel like they're, and you need to have that. And that's something that's commonly associated with childhood. So maybe this is a product of adulthood and how sometimes we lose that and we forget that. But they don't dream. And I think you may be the one to really show them, like, yo, I'm going to do what I need to do or what I feel I'm being drawn to do in order so I can be happy. And I feel like this person may have done life in a way where other people were happy, or done life in a way where they feel like I'm supposed to do this, not because I want to. So there's something about the programming of how they think, how they view, that will change forever, and it's going to be because of your impact. But it has to do with getting what you want, making life how you see fit, and not necessarily going by what everyone else wants for you, but what do you want? I feel like this person, the soulmate in question, may live like a very disciplined life by some means, and you are there to kind of shake things up. and show them that there's actually other ways of living life that's perfectly fine. Look at me. Because with you, it's about this. This is joy. This is the Four of Wands. Life is a celebration for you, as it should be. And this is something that you constantly live by. I get the sense that nothing that you do in this life will be without enjoyment. That has to be the case. And I also feel like this is with relationship as well. Is although you do recognize that relationship will have their moments in which we have to get serious and really grow and learn from. But overall, if it's something that you feel isn't happy, it doesn't make you happy, you will not partake. And you will quickly end the connection or end anything that doesn't bring you enjoyment. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, that was what happened with this ex of yours. You weren't happy. And you have every right to do whatever you need to do in order to become happy. And for some of you guys, that was leaving a relationship that maybe lasted for whatever amount of years, or leaving a relationship in which people thought that you guys would have made it to the altar, or leaving a relationship because, because although this person may have needed me or felt like they needed me, I need to put me first, We also have time out. And I think it's interesting that both of these cards the colors are pretty much the same. This is purple and yellow. So this is the crown chakra, and this is also the solar plexus, which I'm not surprised about. This is about you are connected to source. Even if you're not completely spiritual, you are connected. So the way that you are living by is in essence spiritual. This way of living is spiritual. This perspective, this ideology, this is spiritual. And the solar plexus is indicating that it's about that reason to live, that the fact that life is beautiful and is always full of possibilities. And life is an adventure. I'm going to do what I need to do to make so that it's as enjoyable as possible. And that especially includes relationships. You're not going to be in a relationship just because of maybe it makes sense. I'm not going to be in a relationship just because you look physically good. I'm not going to be in this relationship just because you are rich. I'm not going to be in this relationship just because our parents matched us up. I'm not going to be in this relationship just because, this is what tradition wants. No, you do not abide by those rules. And that in itself is something that's their spirit is admiring you about. For you taking a stance, it feels for your own happiness, for your own joy. And I think you're okay with the timeout card being single. Being single. If it truly means that being in a relationship will make me miserable for whatever reason. Or being in that relationship, you know what I mean? Timeout is also referring to wisdom, which is speaking to, this is like the hermit energy. Wisdom, spiritual knowledge. You are essentially even like a spiritual advisor, but you probably don't even know it. Because the way that you live is, like I said, it's spiritual in essence, and you probably don't even know that it is. You don't even know that this is also something that people can learn, and this is something that your soulmate has learned or will learn from you. saying peace, you are their peace. I feel like with you, you bring a certain calmness to maybe a life of chaos, or a life of, that everyday hustle and bustle that maybe your soulmate is so accustomed to. And that's probably how they expect it, or maybe how they view relationships to be as well. When you view it completely differently, this is not a chore. This is not a relationship to fulfill a status quo. This is not, this is about how you feel, not what looks good on paper. Like for you, if I'm not happy, then the relationship cannot. Like everything else could be going well. Like maybe people looking on the inside and maybe like, oh well, y'all are doing, like, y'all are both successful, y'all are both this, y'all are both that, y'all are both this, but it's like that still doesn't explain whether or not I'm happy, and that's what I need to, and that's what I'm going off of, and basing my decision off. But overall, there's a tranquil energy with you, and I think it's something that their spirit team really admired about you, because it really added a dynamic that was needed for your soulmate. I just get someone who's very rooted into the 3D, which is not necessarily a problem, but we always try to attain a balance. And I think a lot of what you are is something that their client hopes to absorb and reintegrate into their own life and their very being. Very emotional, I'm sorry. Look at the water in the back, look at the dolphins, which for me also indicates happiness and joy. That's what it is for you, and I think that's what you taught, or that's what you're going to be teaching this soulmate. Your soulmate spirit team feels like their life is a little bit chaotic, and it needs to be, there needs to be something else added into the mix, which I believe you will provide, that would create nuances in their life. Because I feel like it's like the 9 to 5, very mundane, very melancholic, and you're the one that's going to add some color. And it's with the emotions, it's with the joy. Serenity as well, being serene. We have Ascended Master, Jesus, up here. Unconditional love, even. This is the type of love in which you may hurt me, but I still love you. Doesn't mean we gotta be friends, but you may hate me, but it's not, you have a very higher perspective of why people do the things that they do. Like, you don't believe that there's bad people, you just believe that there are good people who just made bad decisions. So, very elevated, very higher ascension, very not everyone will achieve that level of mastery, but you have. Doesn't mean that you don't, like I said, And I think that's probably why you're so protective of your own joy as well. Because although, you know that it could happen where you might be in a situation or a relationship in which your joy is compromised. And I feel like with you, you'll happily leave that situation. And in the event that the reason being that you are not as happy or don't feel the joy is because of someone doing, then you see it from a different lens that is still from a place of love. Like I love you, but it's from a place of I gotta love you, from a distance. That's what I mean. But overall, there isn't any conditions. Like this is true love for people, love for humanity that truly shines through. And I think that's also something that you tend to do. I also feel like a very happy, very fun, lighthearted person that's coming from you. You are the life of the party. People, you shine. We got another shiner here. The Show Me the Sun card image. You shine. You shine. You absolutely are meant. You added color, or you will add color to your soulmate's gray life. And by gray, I don't necessarily mean boring, but what I mean is like they're stuck in that pattern of wake up 9 to 5, go to sleep, and life is not all about that. We need a little shake up, and that's what you're going to bring. And it takes a person with your type of archetype to really inspire them. Because that's what it is. I think even if this is an ex, and maybe you won't like how this sounds, but I think you'll understand that this is also a good thing. It's because of your impact that their next relationship will be a success. Or at least more successful. Even if it's not with you. We have the next card, which is compatibility, but I'm still speaking about your energy, which is very much, some might even say it's naive, some people might, but it's that childlike wonder has not disappeared. It's the idea that anything could happen, magic is real, and life is a celebration. Their spirit team is also saying that you guys, you and the soulmate, I would say that with you, everybody resonates with you. Everyone feels connected with you. And I get the sense that people tend to be drawn to your light and your energy. Everyone resonates with you. There's the love. There's the love. Yeah, I get the sense that I get the sense that you make impact on a lot of people's lives, not just significant others. A lot of people's lives. And it's love. You're loved. You're easily lovable. And I think a lot of that has to do with your fun energy, your lighthearted energy. You love to laugh, you love to have fun, and you remind adults how important it is to keep that part of yourself, because that's that inner child. And for you, it's really pronounced, as it should be. And it's so foreign to a lot of adults. And I think with the soulmate, it's very foreign, but they can't help but be drawn to you. And because of that, you inspire them. We have the muses here. We love that. This also indicates that you could be very creative, but inspiration, even before this card came out, when I was laying the cards out, I was already saying inspiring. Like, you are meant to inspire this person. And then I love when this happens. I wish it was caught on camera, but I don't shuffle on camera anymore. But you are meant to really have a huge impact on them. And I think it's really just your way of being, not necessarily anything else that you maybe are doing for them and things like that. It's your way of being. You're going to light a fire within this soulmate. You're going to show them, just by your way of being, that life has multiple routes that you can take, and it's about choosing the one that you feel will give you the most joy. This is a soulmate that will constantly refer back to you as to what decisions to make. Like, what would pile number 4 do? Even with them not being in a relationship with you. They're very multifaceted. I was gonna say 3D, 3-dimensional, but you're more than that. You would have to be, because this is not your average human being here that we're dealing with. This seems, once again, very foreign to what a lot of adults would be used to. Like, they would be like, what's their problem? When it's like, no, what's your problem? You should get like me. Maybe you'll be happier. But that's what it's supposed to trigger. Now we also have Mithras. This is referring to sacrifice. This is about a balance as well, a balance between healthy sacrifice, like you're not a martyr here, but healthy sacrifice, and selfless. You're a very selfless person. This is someone who you would give things to people, obviously, but also I feel like for you, you would even create things to people, because that means it has more meaning, because I put my joy, I put my heart into it, my emotions into it. It's because of that it will have a more profound impact on the receiver. They feel like everything that you create, everything that you build, everything that you put your emotions and energy into, create something beautiful and meaningful. And I think that's the type of quality that you also add into a relationship as well. You can turn a lump of clay, so to speak, into a beautiful statue, sculpture. It's like, I'm sure you're going to have something that you can also take from this connection. But the way that their spirit team is making it seem, it's almost as if, they had it all with you, or they will have it all with you. Like, what you're bringing to the table almost doesn't compare to anything else. Like, I'm sorry to say, I would have to pull more cards out to see what they're bringing to the table, but what you're bringing to the table is life-changing. It's not merely just who you are. It's really you being who you are was absolutely meant to inspire other people. Because living the way that you are is actually making you a lot more closer to Source. Okay, some people may feel like, oh my God, this person is like on the wrong path or maybe lost or needs guidance, and it's like, it's the opposite actually. In fact, you can learn something from her or them. Morganite, relationship healing. I kind of feel like with you guys will probably enter in a lot of connections in this life. And I'm not going to hold you. Some of them are not necessarily going to end in the most amicable way, or some of them are not going to last, of course. But you're okay with that. And I think you've definitely integrated any lessons that you needed to learn from those connections and applied it. And I also feel like with you, your way of being, this joyfulness, is really healing a lot of people. Your energy is quite healing. And I think it's because people have no other choice when they're around you to really look at life from your lens, to enjoy life. I was gonna say an example. Okay, I'll say it. I do have this best friend. And I would say that the biggest lesson that I learned from him was, and this person is younger than me, but live life in a way that you can be the most happiest. And this is really like the life is short type of complex, even though that's probably not what you necessarily believe, but it's like life is short. You know, I'm here for a good time, not for a long time. Like, that's the energy that it's giving. And it's inspiring, and it makes people want to live their life like that because they see the benefits that come from you, that come from living a life like that and seeing life that way. They see the benefits, and because of that, they're also healing child wounds. And essentially that's what you're going to be doing as well for this soulmate. Helping them probably regain some certain aspects about who they are that was lost during adulthood. Really truly living life in a way where you are truly fulfilled emotionally at all times, every step of the way. The next card that we have is number 1. We have Saturn in Aries. This is risk. I feel like for you, you're probably going to come into contact with, maybe, I feel like this soulmate in particular, though, is, for some of you guys, is coming out of a relationship in which they were betrayed or hurt or cheated on, or maybe it ended, you know. And so they feel a little bit vulnerable. They feel like it's a very much of a risk, but with your energy, it eases that. I almost feel like with this group as well, you don't necessarily enter a relationship. Like, it's for you, I think you love love and you love relationships, of course, but I think you're even okay with us not necessarily having to be in a relationship to really enjoy each other's company. Like, let's not force it. Let's see where this goes. Like, very natural, very free flowing, and you're okay. You may be my soulmate, but I want you to be in my life in the way that we are at our best, are our happiest. So if that's a friend, then so be it. If that's to where we don't seem to be in each other's life, then so be it as well. And if that means we should be a couple in a relationship, then that's what we'll do. So I think with you, it's you bring a certain level of ease to life and ease to things that maybe we have grown to believe that should be complicated when it doesn't have to be. And for them, that's like uncomfortable for them. But that's how we know we are hitting somewhere to where we need to really and truly develop in. Because for you, it's like normal. But for them, it's a risk. I have to trust that this is the route to take. And for them, for a lot of people, they don't do trust. They don't do faith. They do what is practical, what is on paper, what's looking good on paper, like what makes sense, what's logical. That's not how you operate, though. And that's what's going to be the most inspiring about you. And their spirit team is like, we need you. We are bringing in the big guns. I'm sorry, the big guns for this particular client, because we have things that we have to accomplish and goals that we have to go and meet, and we're gonna need your help. So their spirit team is coming in with gratitude for what you brought or what you are about to bring into the Soulmate's life. It's a new perspective, a new lease on life, it feels. Because once this change is made and integrated in their own life, they're never going back to that former way of living and thinking. That's because of your impact. And they also are going to have a stronger trust in humans as well. Because this could be someone who has typically been wronged in a relationship, and so there's that distrust. And I feel like that's also something that will be healed because of you. So it is a hefty task, but it's not necessarily something that you should burden yourself with. This is something that will naturally happen because you're just being you. The last card that we have, dun dun dun. Fly, a period of ill health, depression. Oh, sorry. So, there's no such thing as coincidence, you guys. The fact that this card dropped is also a message in itself. This card, Fly, this is what I was feeling. This is a card, also a period of ill health and depression, like that dribble, just mundane, just gray, melancholic. It's coming to an end. It's coming to an end for them. And this is what you are, like I said, you're adding color. You make life fun and enjoyable again for them. And because of that, their spirit team feels indebted to you. Pile number 4, beautiful, beautiful energy that you possess. I see you making impact on a lot of people. A lot of people. I see you leaving a lasting mark. Even when you transition, I see people remembering this part about you and living by this. This is your mark. Pile number 4. I do apologize, it went longer than probably I expected or anticipated, but nonetheless, beautiful message. I hope that you enjoyed that, and thank you. If you feel so inclined, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. But other than that, I will catch you guys next time. Peace.